welcome. Thanks for coming. What I'm hoping we can do here in this moment is come to this station of the cross, Christ crucified between the two thieves, by stepping into this print by Rembrandt. Imagine with me what it would be like to have been there on that day, standing in the crowd, seeing the events unfold. Imagine that you're a Jew living in Israel. You've heard of Jesus, but this is the first time that you've actually seen him. You've heard amazing stories, but you were never sure if you believed them. People said he was a prophet, that he was the Messiah, come to save Israel. But seeing him hanging there, it's hard to believe he's going to save anyone. Seeing the grief and the weeping of the ones huddled beneath the cross, maybe his followers, maybe his friends and family, maybe both. You wonder what they think about the things people said and believed about him, now that it has come to this, a horrible and humiliating public execution. Reading from Luke 23. One of the criminals who were hanged there kept deriding him and saying, "Are you not the Messiah? Save yourself and us." But the other rebuked him, saying, "Do you not fear God, since you are under the same condemnation, the same sentence of condemnation? And we indeed have been condemned justly, for we are getting what we deserve for our deeds. But this man has done nothing wrong." Then he said, "Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom." He replied, "Truly, I tell you, today you will be with me in paradise." Imagine that you're close enough to hear the words of the second criminal. They strike you to the bone. For in this desolate moment, this man seems to still believe in the promise of Jesus. He seems to believe that Jesus, hanging there beneath a sarcastic sign proclaiming him to be King of the Jews, really is a king who is about to come into his kingdom, even as he gasps for breath. And in this moment, imagine that a strong feeling begins to rise within you, and a voice within you asks a question. What if it is true? What if this man, hanging on this cross, really is the Messiah? What if he is the Son of God? What would that mean? But it couldn't be true. For if this man really was the promised Messiah, if he was the Son of God, as some had said, then he would not need to endure this humiliation. He could stop it with a word. He could make his enemies run in a brilliant burst of light. But no, there he hangs. And you imagine what it must be like for those who followed him and believed in him to now see him like this. And the words of the first criminal come softly to your lips. Are you not the Messiah? Save yourself and us. A sick feeling begins to grow in your belly as you wonder, if this man was truly God, then how could people have allowed this to happen? How could we stand here watching passively? What cowardice and apathy would allow such an injustice? For if this man is who they say he is, then we have allowed them to crucify God. It can't be. It's impossible, you tell yourself. But still, the feeling hangs on in your belly. Say that he really was God. Could there be some unknown reason why he would submit to this? Why would a God not save himself? Would allow everything he had done and said to be wiped out in this defeat? It gnaws at you that if the stories are true, then God is hanging on a cross, dying. How does this save anyone? The words shared between the second criminal and Jesus come back to your mind, and with them, a thought flits through like a butterfly just out of reach. And something within shifts, ever so slightly. Nothing around you has changed. The weeping and the wailing continue. The imposing presence of the stony Roman soldiers remains, and the injustice of the world barrels on. But in this moment, the justice and the love that Jesus spoke about hangs before you in the air like a tantalizing possibility. You look to the second criminal, gasping for breath, struggling to endure the pain, and you wonder, what would it be like to hang there in the worst moment of your life? The moment when the possibility of salvation has passed and there is nothing but pain. And in that agony to look over and to see God himself hanging there beside you, sharing your fate, sharing your pain, and not leaving you behind. And when you say to him, Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom, he looks back at you and he answers you, truly, I tell you, today you will be with me in paradise.